Let me ask you something real for a moment. How many of you wake up with a storm in your chest before the world even touches you? How many of you feel that pressure, that tension, that voice in your head saying you're not enough, not ready, not strong enough yet? And you think something is wrong with you because you feel anxious. You think it means you're weak. But what if I told you it means the exact opposite? See, anxiety isn't the mark of someone who's broken. It's the mark of someone who cares. It's the sign of a mind that sees more, feels more, wants more. You don't get anxious about a future you don't believe in. You don't feel pressure for a life you don't want. That tightness in your chest, that's your potential knocking. That's your destiny saying, you were made for more than comfort. The world will try to convince you that strength means never being afraid. But real strength is standing up while you're afraid. Real strength is showing up when your hands are shaking and your heart is loud. Real strength is moving forward even when your mind is screaming for you to stay safe. Because comfort never built legends. Pressure did. You weren't given anxiety to sit down. You were given anxiety to rise up. You were given that fire in your soul because you're meant to walk into rooms your old self is scared of. And every time you face what scares you, you don't lose, you level up. So don't run from that feeling. Don't hide from it. Don't label it as weakness. That anxiety is your training ground. That fear is your fuel. And the same thing that makes your heart race today is the thing that's going to make your name echo tomorrow. Anxiety is often misunderstood as a sign that something is wrong with you. But in truth, it is a sign that something inside you is very right. You don't feel anxious about things you don't care about. You don't worry about a future you've given up on. Anxiety shows up when you have dreams, goals, and expectations for your life. It appears when your mind is focused on what could be, not just what is. That means your heart is invested in your future, and that alone is powerful. People who feel nothing are the ones who have stopped trying. People who feel anxiety are still in the game. Think about it. When you're anxious before an exam, a performance, a conversation, or a big decision, it's not because you're weak. It's because you want to do well. You want to grow. You want to become more than you are right now. Anxiety is your mind stretching toward a better version of you. It's your inner voice saying, this matters. And anything that matters will come with emotion. Pressure doesn't show up where there is no purpose. A lot of people believe confidence means you never feel nervous. That's not true. Confidence means you move forward even when you feel nervous. Anxiety doesn't mean you're unqualified. It means you're stepping into something new. Every level of growth comes with a new level of discomfort. If you never feel anxious, you're probably playing too small. You're probably staying in places that don't challenge you. Anxiety is the signal that you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, and growth only lives outside that zone. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? When you feel anxious, start asking, what am I being prepared for? Because anxiety is often the training ground for the next version of you. It sharpens your focus. It makes you aware. It forces you to think, plan, and care deeply. When you learn to use it instead of fighting it, anxiety can become fuel instead of a wall. You're not broken because you feel anxious. You are human. You are ambitious. You are aware. Your anxiety is not a flaw in your character. It is proof of your commitment to your future. It means you see potential in yourself and you don't want to waste it. And that makes you powerful beyond what you realize right now. Pressure is often viewed as something negative, something to escape from. But in reality, pressure is one of life's greatest teachers. Nothing valuable is formed in a state of ease. Diamonds are not created without pressure, and strong character is no different. When pressure enters your life, it is not there to destroy you. It is there to shape you into someone stronger, sharper, and more resilient than before. The moments that feel heavy are often the moments that are building the foundation for your future strength. Think about every person you admire for their discipline, confidence, or leadership. None of them were formed in comfort. They were formed in moments where expectations were high, the stakes were real, and failure was possible. Pressure forces you to discover abilities you didn't even know you had. It demands focus when distraction would be easier. It demands courage when quitting would feel safer. Without pressure, potential stays hidden because there is no reason to dig deeper. When life applies pressure, it exposes your habits, your mindset, and your commitment. It reveals whether you rely on excuses or effort. Pressure doesn't lie. It shows you who you really are, and more importantly, who you can become. Many people break under pressure not because they are incapable, but because they resist it. They see pressure as punishment instead of preparation. The moment you change that perspective, pressure loses its power to overwhelm you. Pressure is also what creates clarity. When everything is comfortable, it's easy to procrastinate, to drift, to delay your growth. But under pressure, priorities become clear. You learn what truly matters. You learn how to manage your time, your energy, and your emotions. Pressure sharpens your decision-making and strengthens your self-belief when you survive it. Every time you endure pressure and keep going, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you once believed. It's important to understand that pressure is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. The struggle you're facing right now will not last forever, but the discipline, resilience, and confidence you gain from it will stay with you. Pressure is not meant to crush you. It is meant to mold you. It is shaping your mindset, your character, and your future, even when it feels uncomfortable and unfair. One day you will look back at this season and realize it didn't break you. It built you into someone far stronger than you ever imagined. Fear is often treated like an enemy, something to eliminate or run from. But in reality, fear is one of the most honest signals you will ever receive. It shows up when you are standing at the edge of growth. You don't feel real fear when you're doing what's easy or familiar. You feel it when you're about to step into something bigger than your current identity. Fear is not there to stop you. It's there to alert you that you're approaching a new level. Every time you feel afraid, it's your mind saying, "This matters." Fear doesn't appear in empty situations. It shows up when there is opportunity, purpose, and risk involved. If there was nothing valuable ahead of you, your heart wouldn't race and your thoughts wouldn't spiral. Fear is a sign that what you're about to do has weight. It means the outcome has meaning to you, and anything meaningful will come with emotion. Most people wait for fear to disappear before they move, but that moment rarely comes. Fear doesn't vanish when you're ready. It fades when you act. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward while fear is present. Every strong person you admire has felt exactly what you feel right now. The difference is they didn't let fear make their choices for them. They used it as a signal, not a stop sign. Fear is also a teacher. It points directly to the areas where you need growth. If you're afraid to speak up, it means your voice matters. If you're afraid to fail, it means you care about your future. If you're afraid to be seen, it means you have something inside you that's worth showing. Fear highlights the exact places where your next breakthrough is waiting. When you avoid fear, your world gets smaller. You stay in the same routines, the same mindset, the same version of yourself. But when you face fear, your world expands. You gain new experiences, new strength, and new confidence. Every time you walk toward what scares you, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than your doubts suggest. Fear is not your enemy. It is your guide. It's the signal that you're standing at the door of growth, transformation, and purpose. The only question is whether you will listen to fear as a warning to stop or as an invitation to rise and step into the next version of yourself. Greatness is not built in comfort. It is built in moments when everything inside you wants to quit, when the path is unclear, and when the reward feels far away. Convenience creates routines, but discomfort creates transformation. When life feels hard, when the pressure is heavy and the road is steep, that is where real change begins. Easy situations don't demand much from you. They don't force you to grow. They don't test your character. But discomfort does. When you are uncomfortable, you are learning. When you are stretched, you are evolving. Every time you face something that challenges your confidence, your discipline, or your patience, you're being shaped into someone stronger than before. Growth is never gentle. It asks you to leave behind old habits, old thinking, and old limits. It asks you to step into spaces where you are not yet fully ready and figure things out along the way. Most people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling before they act. But greatness doesn't come from waiting. It comes from moving forward while you are unsure. It comes from trying when you feel unprepared. It comes from standing up again when you've been knocked down. Discomfort is the price of becoming who you are meant to be. Think about it. Every skill you admire in others was once uncomfortable for them. Speaking with confidence was once awkward. Leading was once intimidating. Discipline was once painful. Strength was once weakness. No one is born great. They become great by repeatedly choosing the hard path over the easy one. They choose effort over excuses. They choose growth over comfort. Discomfort also builds mental toughness. When you go through challenges and don't quit, you build trust in yourself. You start to believe that you can handle pressure, setbacks, and uncertainty. That belief becomes your power. It changes the way you see obstacles. Instead of seeing them as walls, you start seeing them as tests. And every test you pass strengthens your identity. The truth is, comfort is seductive. It feels safe. It feels familiar. But it keeps you small. It keeps you repeating the same year over and over. Discomfort feels risky, but it opens doors. It leads to new skills, new confidence, and new opportunities. It leads to a version of you that you haven't met yet. Greatness lives where convenience ends. It lives in early mornings, late nights, difficult conversations, and uncomfortable decisions. It lives in the moments you choose discipline over distraction and courage over fear. And every time you walk into discomfort instead of running from it, you take one step closer to becoming the person you were born to be. What you feel right now is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your rise. Too many people look at their current struggle and assume it defines them forever. They see the stress, the doubt, the confusion, and they think, this is who I am. But what you're experiencing right now is not your final form. It's your training phase. Every challenge you're facing is shaping you into someone stronger than the person you were yesterday. There's a season in every life where things feel heavy, where progress is slow, where the vision is big, but your confidence feels small. That season is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you. You don't build strength when everything is easy. You build it when you're forced to keep going without guarantees. You build it when you show up, even when you don't feel ready. That's how momentum is created. Right now, you might feel behind. You might feel like others are moving faster, achieving more, and leaving you in the dust. But growth isn't a race, it's a process. And your process is working even when you can't see results yet. Roots grow underground before anything shows above the surface. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something important is being built inside you. Your past mistakes are not proof that you can't win. They're proof that you've been trying. Every failure carries information. Every setback carries a lesson. And every hard moment carries the potential to turn you into someone wiser, sharper, and more focused. You're not stuck, you're being shaped. The version of you that's coming will be more disciplined than the one you are now. More confident, more aware, more dangerous to your old limits. But that version can't exist without this version going through the fire. You don't rise by avoiding pain. You rise by surviving it and learning from it. So don't quit in the middle of your becoming. Don't walk away while the story is still being written. Don't judge your entire future by one difficult chapter. This is not the end. This is the beginning. This is the part of the movie where the hero is still unknown, still doubted, still struggling. But the rise always comes after the pressure. You're not finished. You're just getting started. And one day you will look back at this season and realize it was the moment everything started to change. So if this message hit your heart and your mindset, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.